Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And today we are going to talk about the finale of The Bachelorette.
Probably the worst finale from the Bachelor franchise that I have ever had to watch.
Yeah, it was bad. And that's not hyperbole. Like, it was the worst.
Yeah, like bad enough that I'm questioning if I keep watching the show. It was just rough.
Same. It really called a lot of things into question. But before we get to that, you got us an amazing candy to review.
You guys, this is a very experimental candy. You know, one that could be delicious or gross.
I always admire your boldness in candy choices because I will not. I'm like, nope. There were some Shaquille O'Neal gummies the other day, but I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And here you are showing up with like this glorious thing.
Well, okay. Side note, you definitely have to get the Shaquille O'Neal gummies.
Yeah. What am I even doing?
Yeah.
I'll rectify that.
Because now we have to try them so we can review them. Okay. So today we tried Juicy Drop gummies. So it's a chewy, sweet gummy that's kind of shaped like a dog food bowl.
That is a perfect description.
And then the candy comes with a separate little container for the Juicy Drop pen in which you squeeze the Juicy Drops, so basically sour goo, into your gummy dog food bowl.
Yeah, it's a little bit of choose your own adventure in terms of sour.
Well, at first we filled up our bowls.
Yeah, I filled mine beyond.
And the sour drop is super sour.
Very sour. This was the first, I think this might be a moment for us. This is maybe the first actual sour candy that has labeled itself sour and was actually sour that we've reviewed.
Kind of like Warhead sour.
Absolutely. It's legit. Like every time you've brought sour candy, I'm always prepared for this and it never is this level. We hit that level today.
Yeah, like makes your mouth salivate because it's immediately so overwhelmed with sour.
Absolutely.
The dog food bowl candies, I'm sorry, they're not dog food bowls, but I'm just telling you the shape.
They look like little watermelons with a hole in them.
Yeah, they are not sour at all. So you can adjust your sour based on how much goo you put in your gummy.
Yeah, so having completely overfilled one, Mandy recommended only a little bit of the sour gel in the other one, and that was actually very good. So that was kind of fun. I feel like being able to play with that was a fun little experience.
On the one hand, I do think the sour goo is kind of a gross concept.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I love filled gummies, which really is just this.
And this is like fresh gel too. So it is like really actually gummy and not sort of just like extra chewy in the middle kind of thing. Like it really does satisfy that filled candy requirement.
Yeah. So I don't know. Try it out, guys. The packaging makes it look terrifying, but I think it's worth a sample.
It'd probably be something really fun to do with kids.
Oh, yeah.
They'd love that. Or, maybe if you're on drugs. I don't know. I think it could be a good time.
I wish I was on drugs during the finale. Hey-yo.
Whoa. Dang. I don't even know.
Okay, so we start with Devin meeting her family.
Yeah. Devin, we never know exactly what order these go in, but it does. I guess, no, we do because it's weird. These two are on the same day. So Devin goes first.
Actually, I feel like we kind of need to rewind back to the Devin scene that they showed at the Men Tell All. So when Devin goes to talk to her, because, he doesn't feel like she loves him as much as he loves her, and he's really in his head, and she's not really giving him a lot of validation. And so anyways, they have this kind of DTR moment where Devin seems prepared to leave, and long story short, Jen says, "I freaking love you, you idiot," or something like that. And so then Devin feels like he got the validation and love he needed, so he decides to stay.
Okay. How do you feel about Jen responding like that in that moment?
I guess I was just confused because at that point, I really thought that it wasn't Devin. And in my head, I was like, if it's not Devin, you should just let him go home.
Yeah, Devin's very invested.
Yeah, because I feel like before that, we thought it was Devin at hometowns. Then we get into overnights, and then all of a sudden we're like, whoa, Devin is not it. And so then when Devin was like going to talk to her, I guess I just kind of convinced myself it wasn't Devin and that she was going to just be like, you're right, I'm not in love with you. See ya.
Bye. But she didn't.
But then she struggles over her words for a couple minutes and she ends it with, I just love you. And then that's all he needs to hear. And so then when we went into this week, I was really confused. And I'm not Devin's frustratingly terrible, like I'm not defending Devin in any of this, but I really thought for part of the finale that Devin was plan B if Marcus didn't say he loved her.
Yeah. And the power of editing. Who knows? But yeah, I would agree that is really how that's felt.
Well, she even said if Marcus says I love you, it's going to change everything.
I know. Ugh.
So then, I guess we're kind of jumping around, but she has that conversation with Marcus and he ends it by basically saying, I do have love for you. Like he basically says, I am in love with you. And somehow that's like what she needed to hear to realize like too little too late.
Yeah.
I do agree with like her reasoning for ending it. I think she was smart not to pick Marcus because Marcus obviously wasn't meeting her where she deserved to be met.
No, not at all. And like her brother pointed out too, and we'd been talking about it, he's so emotionally unavailable. And that was her repeating bad patterns.
Yes. So I think she was right to send Marcus home. But I guess I'm confused as a viewer how I went into this episode feeling like it's not Devin, but then it was. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It was truly, well, because, right, we ended hometowns, all Devin. We got to overnights, not Devin. We get to Men Tell All, Devin. We get to this.
Marcus.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. And it makes me wonder. But here's the thing. And I just have to say that this is just such a huge caveat for me, given how this whole episode went. I feel like it's such like, I can't trust production in any of this anymore.
That's fair. I agree.
And so like, while I feel like we've got a very clear narrative, part of me wonders if it's not disjointed for other reasons and they're trying to patch it together. I don't know. I'm so skeptical. I wish I wasn't.
My only rebuttal to that, and I don't disagree with you, is that Jen actually says a version of this where I think a part of her was chasing Marcus because it's like a similar pattern to probably she experienced with her father, where she was like, constantly wanting and fighting and longing for this love and attention and validation that her dad was never able to give her.
Yeah.
And Marcus shows up in a very similar dynamic in his own way. And so it is common for us to kind of like repeat these patterns. We form relationships with our parents. They are our first relationship. And then those patterns come out in adulthood. And so on the one hand, it's great that Jen has awareness around this and how it hasn't served her in relationships. But I do believe that like Marcus kind of was her number one pick. And I do think that she really loved him.
Interesting.
And that she was working for this thing that she knew wasn't healthy for her.
Yeah, that is a really good point. Really valid. Yeah.
And I'm so glad that in that moment she realized she deserved better. But I was just so surprised that better was Devin, I guess. Because I didn't really feel like we were seeing their connection in the last two episodes.
No, not at all. He definitely felt like he was so much more into it than Jen ever was.
For good reason. We saw that too.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's all really, yeah, it's a good point. But it makes this finale all that much harder. I don't know. I think for me, sort of what this indicates is Jen didn't get good men. And I hate that.
No, she didn't.
Okay. Do we have enough context to go through meeting the families?
Yeah.
So Devin goes first.
Yeah.
Meets Jen's family. I
thought it was interesting that the brother didn't give Devin the blessing because he hadn't met the other guy. I liked the reasoning behind that. I don't really think that men should have to ask for permission or whatever. Like, I think
not
that's
at all.
old-fashioned and stupid. But I'm just saying, I thought that was a very like diplomatic way of navigating that.
Yeah.
So I
like Jen's brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating with I have to protect her because I'm her dad's gone, so that role goes to me. Like, I understand that's a cultural thing, but still, it's always hard to hear, I don't know, that women need to be protected. And
right. Let Jen make her own mistakes. Yeah, and I do hear that, but then there was also just like a lot of love between them.
Yeah,
but
and
like
also I feel like he handled all of the conversations really well.
He did. He wasn't the overbearing, aggressive.
No.
Yes, it's annoying to have those tropes, but if you're going to have them, this is like probably best case scenario and like working through them. Jen's mom and aunt aren't fucking around.
No.
Whoa. I loved it. Grill these men.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than Devin just being Devin and like having his little feelings hurt over her family being skeptical.
Yeah. Which I didn't even think that they were overly skeptical. I feel like they were just being real.
They wanted answers. Like, if you're going to really be engaged by the end of this, then we get to ask some of these hard questions.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting that with Marcus, the brother immediately noticed that Marcus was talking more about his life experience than he was about his relationship with Jen.
Yes. That was such a good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very observant.
Okay. So not much else to really report with Devin. Marcus meets the family. Brother catches that. Marcus also gets kind of grilled.
Yeah.
I just did not love this. Like, even just leading into this conversation.
Also, it was so awkward for Jen to explain to her family that Marcus hadn't said he loved her.
Yep.
But Devin had.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jen.
Yeah, this is rough.
I just think the next thing to know is the conversation she ends up going to have with Marcus in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Where she basically is like, so where are we at? Because this ends in an engagement, my guy.
Yeah, this isn't, you can't not know where you're at with this. Like, you're there, you're not, and it seems like you're not.
Yeah, like, what do you expect to happen in a matter of hours? What could be that different?
Yeah, the fact that he was like so convinced that this date was going to be the end all be all date.
Yeah, I just was so happy she kind of called him out. And I mean, I wish she had done it sooner. That being said, I was really glad she had this conversation and was just like, I don't know how I can expect you to get here. Like, I don't even know if you see a future with me. I don't know if you want a future with me.
Right. He seems to generally understand that he wants to get married. He wants to have a family. He wants to be a good dad. But is that with Jen, or is he just trying to like force it because he's in this moment?
I also just feel like he's like, it could be you.
It could be you. Oh my God. No, nobody wants to hear that. Don't say it.
And I think Jen, when she responds, so then at the end of his, I don't know, I feel like he said a lot, but he didn't really say anything at all. And at the end of it, he says he's in love with her. And we have this moment of like, wow, I didn't expect him to say it. Did you expect him to say it?
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Just like the sheer, I expected it in this kind of moment, like the sheer amount of pressure being put on him to say these words.
Yeah, like his conversation with Jesse.
Yeah, and the conversation with her brother and with her mom and her aunt and like with Jen, it's just, I knew this man was going to break, but I am with Jen, and I think when she heard it, she was just like, oh, right. This, just because he said it doesn't mean that it's going to be easier to say the next time or that he's suddenly going to know how to show me that he loves me. And I'm glad that she got that.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I think she had a lot of really powerful realizations in her response to him. Of
yes.
Like what she deserves and what he isn't capable of. Yeah, I was really impressed with her in that moment.
Me too. So, yeah, I'm not surprised he said it. Man.
Oh, I was just like, what? And then I didn't know it was going to happen because she's been wanting that for so long. And then her response was just great. I was super impressed.
She looked like she wanted to murder him.
I mean, yeah, I would too.
Ugh, same. You're like, you have made me look like such a fool. I hate you.
And so then he goes home and now it's Devin.
And now
and I'm like, how'd we get here?
Whoo. Yep, we're at Devin. But we're weirdly, yeah. But then we go on this like weird misadventure.
Why? I don't understand. Who chose to do this?
I know. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they just play the proposal and then let them comment on it like it usually happens?
Yeah, it was so cruel. It was just to make even better television.
It's not better television.
It's not, right? Like, this is always the game I think these producers play. I think in movies, they do this too. Like, how many boundaries can they push to find people's limits of like how much cringe we're willing to accept? And I think we found our threshold. Like, this is a bridge too far. That was so colossally fucked.
Well, at first I was confused because I thought they actually weren't going to show us the proposal. But I was like, why would they be teasing that proposal scene all season where she, sets down the rose and is like, I'm not going to allow you to propose or I can't let you propose to me. And so I was kind of confused because I was like, why would they tease us with that scene all season and then not show it to us?
Well, because they probably didn't know, depending on the timeline, maybe how that was going to work out.
Yeah.
They thought they would be together.
I know, but they knew at that point. They still did it that way.
When did The Bachelorette start?
No. I'm saying after the final rose, it's filmed live.
Oh. You're not talking about like all season. You just mean like in that episode.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Like, I'm having a hard time. Right. I'm sitting here trying to figure out like how we got here. And I still can't even wrap my head around like why we got this the way that we did.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't just play the proposal and then then Jen and Devin come out and they can say where their relationship is. We can have Jen first and then have Devin come out. I don't understand why we had to pause, let her explain what happened to their relationship, have Devin out, have that horrific scene. And then after all of that, after we know she's so hurt and so broken and so sad, then we watch her beautiful proposal and we have to watch a teeny little clip of her in the corner just sobbing the entire time.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that wasn't woman empowerment.
You're not protecting your lead. You're not, like, it was terrible. It was so hard to watch.
It was so hard to watch. It was heartbreaking. And I don't ever want to see somebody struggle like that, ever. And especially in a situation that is so avoidable. So avoidable. Man, and Devin is a real...
He didn't even say anything.
He claims that he was totally blindsided by all of this.
Okay, so in case you don't know, listeners, September 10th, Devin released a 13-minute video explaining his side of the story. Where he says he's blindsided by everything. He gives his side of the story where he shows multiple texts, like almost all of the texts between him and Jen since the end of the show.
Yeah.
And he does not have her permission. He did not tell her he was doing this. Is that even legal, by the way?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like that should be a form of like revenge porn.
Well, that should be. That is such an interesting point. So it's not just all of the texts, right? It's like one is like in particular that is very much them sexting. It is an intimate moment. And that should have never, ever been shared. He swears up and down that was an accident. Fuck that guy. It was definitely not an accident. Yeah. To me, that feels like revenge porn.
I will say, I'm not defending it, but like, it's not obvious that sex text is a sex text in the way the video is shown. Because you didn't watch the video, right?
No, I saw the screenshot.
He highlights specific texts that you can actually read. And otherwise, it's like there's so many things moving around and scrolling that someone had to probably screenshot a ton of times to even see what, like, I didn't even see that text in the video.
Okay.
Not defending it, but I'm saying like the texts that were highlighted were more about like them breaking up and what she was telling him and tra-la-la. And my issue with the whole thing is, she sent him a text that's like, obviously, I'm always going to cherish our time together. I'm rooting for you. Like, I want good things for you. This is a classic case of two things can be true. I think that she can actually feel that way and struggle to go on live television and have to confront the fact that this relationship failed so quickly in front of a live studio audience and then have a conversation with him.
He also, failed to mention all the women he's been photographed with. This man left some really key pieces out of his defense. So I'm sure, like, as all of that started to come to light, I'm also sure that things changed for Jen.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, context. That sucks that he acted like that. Yeah, there are other women. So, wow.
I just feel like if you have to put a 13-minute video defending something that you couldn't just fucking say on the show.
Yes, that is such a good point. If it takes you 13 minutes and that many screenshots to defend your case on Instagram.
Yeah, like sit down.
Shut up.
Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, he's better off just disappearing.
I feel like this was almost kind of like a Sandoval moment. Like that was the level I was annoyed.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, be smarter.
Yes. Well, he's not. There's a lot of evidence for that. So
apparently Jen and Jonathan got sushi together.
Ooh.
I guess they're just friends, but I've heard both of them talk on Nick's podcast, and it seems like maybe, who knows?
Interesting.
They're kind of having a Tyler Cameron, Hannah Brown moment.
Cute. We're here for that. Devin also apparently had a real big issue with Jen proposing.
Oh, yeah. Say what?
Yeah. So at some point in the screen, like in screen grabs that people got of text, he had said, "Can you please stop making the joke about me taking Tran as my last name? I'm already feeling really emasculated by you proposing." Emasculated because she proposed. I would imagine, like, who wouldn't want the person that they felt like maybe didn't have the same level as buy-in as them, or were worried that they didn't love them back, to have that person be the one to be like, not only like, I'm going to show you, let me propose to you.
That's an amazing point. Bravo.
Dare Devin act emasculated by her proposing. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Man, what a disappointment of a season. Jen deserves so much better. So many of these men sucked.
Well, and also production did her zero favors.
None.
If anything, it was at her expense.
And why did we have so many episodes where she had to go up on like the tallest building, fucking balloons, helicopter rides, like skydiving? It was cruel. I just don't appreciate this season at all.
Yep, it's the worst season we've seen in a long time. And it's not on Jen. I'm just saying.
No, Jen was
the
great.
Men, also the budget. We need to really fix the disparity between the Bachelor and Bachelorette budgets. It's just like.
Yeah, that somehow, the amount of money spent on The Bachelor is disgusting.
Yeah, and then the choices they made at the finale. Also, did you notice that, we talked about this. The men met her family on the same day.
The same day. They couldn't even like extend the time at this resort for another day.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but that seemed really weird. Honestly, this makes me not even excited to watch The Golden Bachelorette.
No, and also that was such fucking whiplash to be like Jen sobbing, and now a clip from The Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah, and now
like
Joan.
What? Like, I didn't even want to watch it. Like, no,
Same.
I'm done.
Same. I was frustrated.
Me too. Well,
but Jen and Joey are going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
So I'm excited for them.
That'll be
Hope they do
fun.
good. I feel like Jen, in my head, Jen will last longer than Joey.
Really? I kind of had my money on Joey with his little like Spanish heels on, and he was he bad? Maybe I was a little just like.
Honestly, it's pretty sixes for me. I wouldn't say one of them is a clear front runner. I just want Jen to beat Joey.
I would like Jen to beat Joey too.
Because they're both athletic. They're both coordinated.
Absolutely.
But I also think that they're both a little bit like sexually awkward.
Right. They're not inherently like sultry movers and
they're not like
dancing
Braden's.
sense. No. Yeah. You know who didn't make it on Dancing with the Stars?
Sheena.
Well,
she didn't want to be on it this year. She wants to do it on her 40th birthday.
Oh, right. Of course.
Do you think she's still taking classes and practicing?
I'm sure. She's going to be so ready. Annoyingly ready.
You guys, I don't know if this is real or not, but I heard they started filming Vanderpump. So we'll gather more info.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how we feel about them recording Vanderpump. That could be really bad.
I know. I honestly have mixed emotions.
Yeah.
I did say though that I'm like, it needs to be wrapped up formally, and I don't feel like it has been thus far.
I would agree with that.
So even if it's a shitty ending, I feel like it deserves like a solid intentional ending.
Yeah, we can get like a 5-episode arc.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to fizzle out.
I hear that. I like that plan. We'll have to see how that goes.
Kristen Doty's engaged.
Brittany and Jax are getting divorced.
The Valley is happening.
I was gonna say the Valley's gonna be good.
I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good. What do you think our future plans are for podcasting?
You guys, we're gonna take a little bit of a break because of some life stuff.
Per usual, lifing.
We'll try to stay in touch and figure it out.
Yeah, but bear with us. It's we promise we're not abandoning the project for no reason. Just like legitimately gotta get some stuff sorted. So
we'll try to put maybe some updates on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow us on Instagram,
now's a good time.
Us. And if you have listened to any of this, thank you.
Yeah, seriously, you guys are the best. We're so grateful for you. We'll forever be grateful for you.
Yeah.
So until next time,
we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Jessica Brumbaugh and Mandy Booth. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Special thanks to everybody who has downloaded and listened to us. We are so, so grateful for your support. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to be a witch and just like do stuff.